Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And, you know, one would think with the playoffs right around the corner and the play-in tournament kicking off today, one would think that that's enough drama, but it looks like there's some more drama going on out there. So this is what we want to react to. So as you guys know, Lebron recently made a visit on the Pat McAfee show. He did this after his on-court altercation with Stephen A. Smith that went viral, everybody discussed. And he went on there and he was going off on people, man. He went off on Brian Windhorst, called him a weirdo, essentially. Making fun of Stephen A. Smith and his tighty whities, took subliminal shots at Shaq and Charles Barkley for the way that they covered the sport. Of course, he went up there and capped a little bit when he up there. You know how LeBron be doing it. He got to cap it up when he up there, right? So he did that. It was a viral interview. I think it got over 1 million views just on YouTube alone, the full interview. And everyone was reacting to it. They were also saying, you know, he did that in terms of going on the Pat McAfee show as a way to take a shot at Stephen A. Smith, right? He went on the show, I think, right after ESPN First Take, and they were talking about, was it premeditated? And then Stephen A. Smith said that he's not mad at Pat McAfee. He got a big interview, good for him, and this and this. So it was all of this stuff, right? And at the end of it, people were essentially saying that LeBron James got the last laugh, right? And people were saying Stephen A. Smith needs to back down and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. So what happened? Yesterday, a video was circulating all throughout the internet that people were talking about. And apparently it's from this, it was essentially unearthed by this channel, this page on Instagram called First Realist 100. And I guess he's like a sports commentator, basketball commentator, I'm not sure. Well, this guy apparently 2 days ago was able to unearth a clip of Pat McAfee going off on LeBron James, like really going off on him, trashing him. I think he was something along the line of, why was LeBron making noise or screaming during the national anthem and all of this. He was going off on him. And this creator was essentially saying, wait a minute, did Clutch Sports not know this? Were they not aware of the fact that Pat McAfee said that LeBron is impossible to root for and support and all that stuff? And I was like, wait a minute, this is pretty crazy. So it looks like the guy that had the last laugh in LeBron James, actually, it turns out that it's looking like Stephen A. Smith is going to be the one that gets the last laugh. But before we even get into this sound from Pat McAfee totally trashing LeBron James, our video is brought to you by sponsor Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60-plus states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I'm really looking forward to game one between the Clippers and the Nuggets in round one. Here's what I like to do. I turn on all-in pricing so I know exactly what I'm paying for upfront. I check Game Time Picks to find out the most valuable deals. And finally, I pick the ticket I want. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is going to play exactly what Pat McAfee had to say about LeBron James before he got on his show. And then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what Pat McAfee had to say here originally.
That guy stinks, by the way.
Oh.
I am done with him.
Who, LeBron?
I'm done with him.
Well, you didn't like his antics last night?
Everything. Then the China stuff, which just makes him look like an absolute buffoon. Then he starts yelling during the national anthem, and then they lose. It's just like Bron. This was not a game that you could do after everything you've done the last couple months that have made it very difficult to like you.
So you heard what Pat McAfee had to say there. What are my thoughts on this? First of all, let's address some of what he said. He said the guy looked like a buffoon. He said with the China stuff. Now, what is he referring to with the China stuff? Well, there was this big blow up that took place a number of years ago surrounding some comments that Daryl Morey made. And essentially LeBron came out and scolded Daryl Morey for what he said, where essentially LeBron was coming to the defense of biggest sponsor Nike, who produces a lot of his shoes across the globe in factories with less than perfect conditions, with less than perfect pay. So LeBron scolded him there. So a lot of people at the time called out LeBron for being a fake activist. Now, why am I saying this? Because LeBron says he's an activist, and when you see an opportunity where clearly some injustice is taking place here, unfair treatment, you told Daryl Morey to basically shut the hell up. And a lot of people called him out on that. Obviously, the United States is having a trade war right now with China, so a lot of Americans are not fans of China whatsoever. So you have that there. And then you have the part where he said, I'm done with this guy and all of this. Now, apparently this was in 2019. So the question then becomes, what changed? What changed? What changed about LeBron's position? What new thing has LeBron done that has caused Pat McAfee to have a change of heart? Because watching the interview with him and LeBron James, the way Pat McAfee was up there twerking it up for LeBron and saying all of these wonderful things about him, you would almost wonder, are there two LeBrons? Is there another LeBron? Because this can't be the LeBron you were talking about in this clip that just surfaced. Right? Now, some people are saying some things. Some people are saying that Pat McAfee used this as an opportunity to exploit LeBron James by essentially bringing a star of his caliber on his platform, which obviously must have generated some type of income in some type of way, ratings and all of that, right? So some people are saying that Pat McAfee used this as a way to kind of profit off of LeBron James. So you have that aspect of it. You have others that are saying that Pat McAfee looks like a phony here because on the one hand, you have an audio of you saying these things about the guy, and then all of a sudden now the guy's being invited on your show. You have that aspect of it. You have the other group of people who are out there saying, well, wait a minute. How did this slip through the cracks? How is it possible that LeBron's representation, his representatives, weren't aware of this, that this guy had made these type of comments about him in years prior, and he somehow ended up on their show? Because some people are saying that they thought LeBron was aware of what Pat McAfee said and he would have called him on it. And my guess is that LeBron was unaware that Pat McAfee had said those things about him. Let me just quickly verify something. No, he officially joined ESPN on September 7th, 2023 with his show. Okay, that's when he officially joined him with the show, the Pat McAfee show, debuting the network. The show simulcast 2 hours live on ESPN, while the 3-hour program is streamed on ESPN Plus and the ESPN YouTube channel. Okay, so he essentially joined ESPN in 2023. So to me, look, this doesn't look good for both parties. One, it doesn't look good on LeBron because you went on a show with the guy who was trashing you, who couldn't stand you. And then on the part of Pat McAfee, he looks like a two-faced person. He looks like a guy where you were saying this thing about this guy, and then all of a sudden you were happy to have him on your show. So the questions I have for the audience is simply this. Do you think that LeBron was unaware of this and went on this show without knowing that Pat McAfee has said that? That's the first part. The second question is, do you think that Pat McAfee saw this as an opportunity to take advantage of a pivotal moment and just kind of faked it and act like he didn't say the things that he said about LeBron James in years prior? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.